Arizona State travels to Tucson for a top 25 rivalry meet on Saturday. It's a matchup that ASU won in 2016, their first win over Arizona in 14 years. But for one Sun Devil swimmer, this meet means a whole lot more.
You know, my meeting with some people at U of A really kind of fired me up.
Arizona State senior Andrew Porter is a key cog in the growing success of the ASU swim team, currently ranked 13th in the nation. Here's the twist. He's a transfer from the University of Arizona. Saturday, he returns to face his old team for the first time since leaving.
I'm very familiar with that pool, obviously. I trained in it for 3 years.
A born and bred Californian, Porter was an All-American honorable mention as a sophomore in 2014. He clocked a 45-second 100-yard butterfly at the NCAA National Championships that year, good for 9th in the nation. Then, just before his junior year in Tucson, ASU hired Bob Bowman and everything changed. Bowman is well known for coaching Michael Phelps, the greatest butterfly swimmer in the history of the sport. Porter is a butterflyer as well, and he said the decision to move to Tempe was easy.
I didn't take a recruiting trip when I came here. I just kind of signed on for Bob.
The biggest draw for Porter to Tempe was the hiring of Bob Bowman, but an added plus was the fact that during his transfer year where he had to sit out, he was able to train with the legendary Michael Phelps. And during those training sessions, he developed significantly as a senior, and it's paid off here in his senior season.
It kind of expands your expectations of yourself, and I think really raises the bar for what you think is possible in practice, and then that raises it for what you think is possible in competition.
Porter jumped on the opportunity, and the coaches have seen the effects of his training.
He's probably swimming better now than he ever has. So I know he wants to do better. We'd like him to do better, but at the end he will, I guarantee.
But his transfer left a sour taste down in Tucson. The situation is a bit tricky between Porter and U of A. Technically, he's eligible for one more year with ASU, but due to a unique gray shirt transfer rule, Arizona actually has to file a waiver that would clear Porter for an additional season. Right now, it doesn't look like they will.
To quote one of their eligibility officers, it's a slam dunk to get my year back with what I went through there. And they're deciding to not file that waiver and therefore block the last year of eligibility.
Cronkite News reached out to the University of Arizona for comment on this matter, but did not receive a response. So for Porter, his trip down south will have some extra incentive.
You know, what the head coach there has decided to do is fired me up a little bit more about, what I want to do when we go down to Tucson.
I mean, I think he knows what it's going to be like. He'll be excited, and that'll be good. He'll give his best effort. I think it'll be fun.
But Porter understands.
We're just all swimmers doing the same thing, trying to make ourselves better, so can't really blame them.
As for the rivalry,
I like to say, life's too short for rivalry, so I'm still buddies with a lot of the guys down there, so I don't really see them as like enemies or anything like that. It's more of a friendly competition at this point.
Still,
I'd want to drop some dirty times.
Arizona State and the University of Arizona will race on Saturday at Hillenbrand Aquatic Center in Tucson, 11:30 a.m. for the first race. In Tempe, Blake Bernard, Cronkite News.